targeting had been here during our water crisis, delivering water. So this was not it shows it. They were targeted. They were extracted from their vehicles. They were thrown to the ground, and the vehicles were towed for a traffic infraction. A traffic infraction. Clearly, in those comments, you hear the officer stating, "I'm towing your car." This shouldn't be happening. I don't want people to feel that Flint, when you come to Flint, that this is normal. That's not normal behavior. And this is why we're speaking out and speaking out on the record. It's time that our Flint police are stopped being used and weaponized against the residents and even visitors. Every single council meeting, the police are weaponized against the residents. And it's sad. We've had over 70 plus people removed from city council chambers by the council president and the council vice president for simple things such as clapping, a warning. One lady didn't even talk, she was just moving her hand. People were removed for their First Amendment right to protest by holding a sign, telling them they had to be stationary. Put that sign down, you can't have a sign. Violations that are consistently happening in the city of Flint, which shouldn't. So I'm going to leave this because we are going to stay time sensitive. If you have questions on the police or you want to do the police.
You detailed concerns about specific officers.
Yep.
But you suggested that this is a bigger problem within the department. What are your concerns about supervisors all the way up to the chief?
Well, I have concerns that the chief is ruling by, he is giving orders that are unlawful. It's clear that some of the officers are following orders and not following their oath or specific laws. Moreover, during one of the police stops on Sunday, if not both of them, the people in the cars were told, "Get out, I'm towing your car." Not a standard, and they clearly said, "I'm ordered by my police chief to tow your car." Not, "I'm pulling you over, I need your license, registration, proof of insurance, I'm pulling you over for this," and so on and so forth. So, and it's clear in the actions that residents are being removed for expressing their First Amendment rights here in this room, that they are removed unlawfully. And unfortunately, it's going to come down to a lawsuit being filed because, and they know that they're extracting and they're removing poor people that aren't going to file lawsuits. So in their eyes, they're probably thinking that they're being, they're untouchable, but that's what happened. So it is a top down in between because there are officers following unlawful, in my opinion, orders.
So I guess, when it comes to council meetings and like what happened on Monday, I guess, what would you like to see, or how do you think it would be more effective for order or peace meetings in council chambers?
So order and peace, I think that what has happened in this chambers over the past 2 years under current council leadership has boiled over to this point. Residents have been thrown out, have been arrested, have been told to shut up, and they have really discouraged people from coming and speaking and airing their grievances as they should to an elected body. So order and peace will come back with new leadership that puts the chambers back in the people's hands and allows them to speak, and allowing them to speak and us hearing them will give them better governance.
And then also in addition, Councilman Pfeiffer, you mentioned an officer was throwing punches.
Yes. Yes.
We received a tip accusing his brother of assaulting one of the officers.
So,
is there any truth to that?
So I won't speak to that because from what I understand, no charges have been filed in the, I'll leave it at that. But the officer, Michael Tisdale, Michael, normal spelling, Tisdale, Tilsdale, was indiscriminately throwing punches, so much so that he punched a resident square in the face. He was not trying to apprehend anybody trying to provide order. He was literally in a scrum trying to throw punches, and the incident was caused by him charging and hitting another resident. That's what caused everything. 20-some plus officers were called to this chamber to remove one woman for disorderly conduct. One woman, 20 officers showed up. One with a long gun. Who brings a long gun into a council chambers to remove one woman? I'll leave it at that, but I'll leave that question at that. But
I do want to speak to this because this room, there was chaos. And I want to speak to with what the residents is. You will constantly hear the public safety plan. We have never had a resolution to vote on the public safety plan. There's a document that was presented and worked on with interim council president Liddell Lewis with Chief Green. It is not enforceable. She is consistently telling the police to enforce something that is not the law, and they are enforcing something that is not lawful. They're not asking, they're not saying, show me where this is written, because they constantly tell people to be removed. And it started with someone over there videotaping near the city attorney. And Judy Priestley, councilman of the 4th Ward, stated, you can't be over there videotaping. There is no rule, there is no law that you can't videotape. They keep stating that you can't talk to the city clerk or the city attorney. That's just not true. We have never had a resolution that you can't talk to public officials that are paid for by public dollars with their salaries. And so when we continuously, when they continuously violate not only the Open Meetings Act, the First Amendment, and they violate the city charter themselves because they don't have decorum with how they talk to residents. It's disrespectful. It states in the city charter, section 3-104, that we must be respectful to constituents and we must be respectful to each other. Those 4 council members they're not respectful. We have been called names that they would make your grandmother blush. It's been ridiculous.
It was still here at City Council. I think you guys said Tisdale.
okay, yeah, no, Stillwell was the incident here on Monday. Tisdale was in the street on Sunday.
Just a quick clarification. Have you filed a formal request through channels to have the MSP do an investigation, or are you just asking?
There has been a formal complaint made to the Michigan State Police on Officer Stillwell. I think, to my knowledge, the federal lawsuit involved Officer Tisdale. So I think those 2 channels are what has been done so far. Any other questions on the Flint Police before we move on to the budget?
Sorry, I missed the first few minutes. Will you both just identify yourself quickly?
Councilman Dennis Pfeiffer, this is Councilwoman Tanya Burns.
Can I just say, I was there Sunday for the protest. I was actually involved in the march, and I was at the very end of the line. We no less got more than 5 blocks, and police were literally paratrooping in from adjoining side streets. I drove through the downtown area prior to the event taking place, about 45 minutes before the event took place. There were no police at all in any of the downtown streets area. So I highly have to assume the way that they followed us from this building down the street, they started out with 2 cops that were sitting on the street. And then as more and more started paratrooping in and following in their line, no sooner did we get 5 blocks down right in front of Water Street, and exactly what they're stating is true. They were pulled over to the side of the street, which was not in the driving lane. The cars were still driving down Saginaw Street. There was no one here driving. Everybody was driving fine. Cars were still getting down the road. The police came in, they barricaded all of those people that were in that line, and they kept them from proceeding down the road.
Thank you. We're going to continue on real quick. Yeah, we're going to continue on. So in regards to the budget, I think the mayor is playing a very dangerous game. And what he is doing is he is blatantly lying to the residents, saying that this is a balanced budget. This is not a balanced budget. We are spending $4+ million than we receive. And it is, I'll just say this, in fiscal year 22, we had a $17 million surplus. This year proposed, we have a 29. So you're thinking, okay, we went up in our budget. Well, that's not the case because we transferred $40 million of ARPA funds. So if we didn't transfer $40 million of ARPA funds to the general fund, we would already be bankrupt. And every year we have a $4 to $5 million deficit. And this year is the only year that there isn't a 5-member rubber stamp to approve this reckless spending. And it's a straight lie that it is a balanced budget. And we are not unwilling to approve a budget. We are just trying to get our fiscal house in order. We have proposed amendments to the general budget. They have all been voted down by the council members who rubber stamp everything. And one of the things that is clear is the overspending in the mayor's department. The mayor's department in fiscal year 19 to 20 had a budget of $344,000. This year, the mayor wants $1.6 million in that department. And that is just the mayor's office. Don't let it skew it, though. He includes blight and everything. That is just the mayor's office. So just a few years ago, he has fourfolded his budget, and he will not tell us. We've asked for what the additional headcounts are going to be for. We have never got that information, and they refused to. So in the matter of a few years, he has quadrupled his budget with zero accountability. Well, we are, one of the things that was not mentioned in the press conference yesterday is our control of the purse strings of the city of Flint and our checks and balances of the administration. And like I said, this is the first year that they haven't had it. So we are going to bring accountability, and they are using the residents and the employees as pawns, trying to say, if you don't pass it the way it is, or with the amendments that we say, we're going to send out layoff notices. They are playing that game instead of actually looking at the amendments and saying, okay, let's all agree on a budget that is capable and fiscally responsible. And then the mayor or whoever can come before us with budget amendments on each individual item and say, I want to spend money on this. Let's approve an additional budget amendment. That is what we are proposing, but we have to get down to reduce the $4 million deficit that we are continually spending. And I think we would be already in bankruptcy if we didn't send the ARPA dollars to the general fund. And those ARPA dollars were not meant for the general fund. They were meant to help boost up our impoverished community. That is the definition of those ARPA funds. And instead, they are spending them on pet projects and anything else that has zero, and I mean zero, benefit to the residents of the city of Flint. And I'll turn it over to Ms. Tanya Burns.
Thank you. So, thank you, Councilman Fife. So I want to be very clear. This is a deficit budget. We are required to maintain and keep a balanced budget by the Flint City Charter, Article 7, underneath the finance. The mayor's administration is supposed to bring city council a balanced budget. That didn't happen. It did not happen. When you bring a deficit budget and say, hey, it's going to pass later down the road, it'll balance later, it does not state the city charter, page 61. It does not speak to maybe October, November, hopefully no December. It has to be the date that we vote to adopt the budget. It's not balanced. Flint has had 4 emergency managers: Donnell Early, Ed Kurtz, Mike Brown, Jerry Ambrose. We do not want another emergency manager. That is very clear. What happened to our last emergency manager? What happened to the city of Flint Governor Snyder stated that the city of Flint City Council and the mayor lacked the will to govern, and they took over our city. They sold off all of our assets, our garbage trucks, reduced pay, reduced benefits for our employees. And they eventually decided to not treat the water, which led to the poisoning of the city of Flint, where there was TTHM, PFAS in the water. The water wasn't treated. So when residents get outraged, it's because the residents get no justice in the city of Flint, and that is the outrage. So we have been asking the questions with the budget, certain things, the 2 golf courses, Kersley Lake, Swartz Creek. We wanted to see the financials. This mayor has continuously used the $75,000 threshold. We are paying $72,000 to a vendor for city properties that we had vendors who were going to pay. Instead, we're paying them. We're supposed to split the profits. We haven't seen any of the profits. They have a bar, they have a restaurant, they have cannabis events. We haven't seen any of the funds from this. In addition to that, we have asked, the mayor took off and he evicted the current, who was in good standing, the Hasselbring Center, from what is now known as the Mays Center. We're now funding 2 positions. We don't know from who. They did state ARPA funds, which is not for salaries. They are funding those. We're paying, and we don't know how much are the expenses for running that. The state said that the county stated in this letter that they will not fund, that the city submitted an application. It was the worst application they've ever seen, and that they will not be given the money. So somewhere in our budget, we don't know, they're paying for a senior center, the consumers, the water, the snow removal, the parking lot lights, and 2 salaries, the food, the programming. City council did not vote on this. We did not vote. We have not had to take care of our senior centers since 2002 when emergency management came in. That's 23 years ago. Now, under this budget, and we don't know where it's at because they won't show us. We're having to do McKinley Center and then in addition, the Mays Center. So there's many discrepancies in this budget that we've got questions about. The opioid plan. Where is the opioid plan? We have an opioid problem in our city. Where is the plan? We have a fund with it and they're spending that money and we want to know where all those dollars are going. You can spend up to 30%, but it's not lining up. When we ask our chief financial officer, he consistently tells us, I don't know. And I believe he honestly doesn't know, or he's been told he can't answer. So these are serious issues of concern. Our pension fund for our retirees, we were told they were going to get 220 million. They didn't. They got 170. They just got another 10 million. We're 40 million short from what the mayor stated we would be getting. Where is that money? So now we're at a 4-4 where the budget cannot just be rubber stamped, and we're asking the tough questions. We don't want to lay off anyone, but we also don't want emergency management, and we've had 4 emergency managers. So these are things which are concerning deeply to us, and I don't think this administration is getting it. We're going to go over tonight, and my question is to the administration. Where do you think the cuts would be less? They did give us a document stating they want to take 500,000 from police, 400,000 from fire, and 33,000 from city council. But those cuts are going to have to be much deeper. So hopefully tonight we'll be able to get into where they won't hurt as much, but we're required by the city charter in the state of Michigan to pass a balanced budget if it is passed today, not November, October, or any other month. So that is the required. Anything less than that, we would be breaking the law.
I just want to say 2 more points in regards to the budget. So this council body has asked this administration for 6+ months for the check register. We just got that 2 weeks ago, and some of the things on there are appalling. They have yet to provide details, specific details on checks being made, but from my investigating and my knowledge, some of those are for his New Year's Eve private party that he throws on the Hilton rooftop on New Year's Eve. He's paying for consultants, production companies, photographers, professional service contracts that nobody can explain. So those are part of the questions that why we are more in-depthly scrutinizing this budget. Also, in regards to the golf courses that Ms. Burns brought up, it is a fact we are paying $6,000 a month to an operator, and that's how he's bypassing council. Council approved a motion or a resolution to put the 2 golf courses out to bid. That went out to bid. The winner of that bid was going to pay the city of Flint over the life of the contract over $1 million. But that vendor was not the one that the mayor approved. So the one that the mayor approved, you will find also writes checks to his education, or not his election account. So you do the math on that. I won't connect the dots for you on that. Is there any questions regarding the budget?
He yesterday, President said that he's spending an olive branch for you all to come to his office. Would you take that, or do you want him to
So
come up here?
I can speak for me personally. I am not going to negotiate the livelihoods of our citizens and or the employees in closed doors to make some backdoor deal. All discussions will be made from my seat at in these chambers.
So I do want to say this. The mayor has reached out. I have received 3 emails. When he came to council to present the budget, he was so very disrespectful to give us 1 minute to ask questions. You can't ask questions in 1 minute for millions of dollars with a deficit budget that he's trying to pass. I will not meet with him. If he wants to talk, he needs to come in city council chambers where he decide to give us 1 minute. This is the public's place, it's the public's money. This needs to be done in the open, and it needs to be done transparent.
So none of them have been adopted.
But a ballpark, if they had been adopted.
If they had been adopted, we would have saved 1.25 in the mayor's office. I believe $250,000 out of the administrator's office, and no other amendments have been proposed because council members broke quorum. So,
But that still would have left you.
that's still
$3 million
correct.
short.
Correct. And the administration has offered since that date about 1.2 in additional, and Ms. Burns named off a few of the police department, city council, some of those. So if we adopt those and the proposed to the mayor and administrator's office, yes, we still have other departments that need to be, their belts need to be tightened.
So one of the areas that they stated, which is the capital expenditures. So I guess we'll go through every department. But again, this is the mayor's responsibility to give us a balanced budget. This was his budget. He presented a deficit budget to city council. That was irresponsible. In addition, he is supposed to, according to the Flint City Charter, quarterly present any budget issues he's having. He's supposed to come before council and say, hey, I've got issues, or his administrator, this is where we need to offset things. That has not happened. You know, we don't, and I'm gonna say this, I don't think things will change over the whole until August, the election. I don't see that. Passing the budget, I hope they come tonight with, you know, what do they want to see cut? Because we did not make it. The quorum was broken. Yesterday was not a meeting. It wasn't properly posted. The city clerk wasn't here. Her staff wasn't here. They broke quorum the day before. So I think it's time for them to stop the shenanigans, sharpen the pencils, and we have to go to work for the residents.
And I just want to clear up what we are saying is in black and white and paper. We have documents to state everything. We are not speaking in a political nature saying, oh, it's a balanced budget, trying to use different verbiage. These are all, everything that me and councilwomen have said can be and will be backed up in documents.
I do want to say this, Dennis, before we leave, because this is one of the issues, and we have talked about it. When you talked about the ARPA funds, what it was to, because we are an impoverished community with many issues, that we have got 3 council members who have nonprofits, that they have presented resolutions, that they have voted on, that they are affiliated with or incorporated, that have received our ARPA funds. And so residents who are here asking for a roof, residents who are asking for in-home plumbing, residents who are asking to be fed, they won't vote to feed our help centers. We have got St. Mark's where they feed 800 to 1,200 people a month. We have the 2 East Side centers that they won't vote to approve that. But we've got council members who have received 25,000, 50,000. Another one was voted on in committee with 300,000 that just happened to make its way to State Rep Cynthia Neely's earmark budget to be approved. So we have to follow the money. And we are doing that so that we don't go back into receivership underneath emergency management, and we don't have a 5th emergency manager.
Any other questions regarding the budget?
I wonder, the mayor said yesterday he's optimistic that we will have a budget this month. Are you two, given the deadline that's happened so far, given the recent history of how this has gone, do you think we'll have a budget?
I honestly, I think we do. The question was, do we think we'll have a budget? I do think we'll have a budget, but the council members on the mayor's rubber stamp have to come to the realize that they are not going to get the budget approved the way it stands. It's not going to happen. We have to get our financial and fiscal house in order. And in order to do that, tough decisions need to be made, and they need to stop playing Russian roulette with the employees and the residents. Any other questions regarding the budget? Okay, then we will.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for coming on short notice, and we'll wrap this up. Thank you.
Right here, till you want to leave your stuff up here, you can.
Baltimore cop decides to put
Good afternoon, and we did not come here today to whisper. We did not gather here to ask politely. We are here to declare with one voice that injustice has met its match with the people of Flint. This moment is not about one man. It's about every citizen, Black, white, Latino, Asian, Native American, and beyond, who has been ignored, mistreated, and silenced by the very systems that is meant to protect them. It's about every family who has buried their pain in silence. It's about every child growing up in a city where power speaks louder than truth. We are done waiting. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. told us, there comes a time when silence is betrayal. The time is now, and we refuse to be silent. We have watched the mayor spin stories while people suffer. We have seen police authority used not to serve, but to suppress. We have witnessed injustice dressed in suits and softened by speeches. But we know the truth, and the truth does not need permission to speak. This gathering is not about chaos. This is clarity. This is courage. This is the community that is coming together to reclaim its voice. We are not asking Mayor Neely to listen anymore. We are demanding accountability. We are not hoping for change. We are organizing it. We are not standing behind one man. We are standing with each other. We are standing with each other. All right. All right. Okay. Across every race, every faith, and every background. Let it be known, Flint is awoke. We have awoken. Flint is unafraid, and Flint will no longer be silent. Today is the beginning of a new chapter, and the people are writing it together. I now present to you Little Miss Flint.
I'm Mari Coakley. I am 17 years old and I am a resident of Flint. Let's be clear. What you saw occur in City Council chambers on Monday was not Flint's version of January 6th, as Mayor Neely implied during their press conference yesterday. This isn't about people trying to jump on a TikTok wave that some seem to think is taking over Flint. The people are fed up and they voiced their frustrations to the council. But that violence you saw was not incited by the people. It was incited by the members of the council that called 911. It was incited by a few officers from a police force that continues to be weaponized against the people of our community. During that scuffle, I watched an officer shove an older woman so hard it knocked the wind out of her. I watched officers attack yet another elderly Black man, and I ended up being pushed and crushed by the police in the middle of the chaos. But you know who else watched that happen? About 10 little kids that were in council chambers with their families. Our community has so many issues working against us. It's time for those in leadership to start working for the people instead of moving Flint backwards. To the law enforcement here, remember you are sworn to protect and serve the community. To the council members, it's time to on your personal feelings and agendas and work to serve those that elected you to represent them. To the media, your job is to report the facts without showing bias and without trying to spin the narrative. And to the people of Flint, it's been a long 11 years. I know we are exhausted. I know we are frustrated. And we are angry. Don't give up. If we want to see change, we have to stand together and make sure they do their jobs.
Thank you so much, Little Miss Flint. Thank you so much for that. And as we stand together, our last speaker, I thank him so much for standing in the gap. Thank you so much. Student Minister LaRon X.
Assalamu alaikum, family. That means peace be unto you. And we definitely believe in peace. But Sister Winters came to me and she asked me if I would say a few words. And I have seen and I have watched, and I said, absolutely, sister, because justice, we have to have it. If you don't have justice, you're not going to have peace.
That's a fact.
And
Second Amendment.
and there has not been peace in our city for quite some time, and it's time to get some peace. And anytime you in a position of leadership, you're a minister, you are a shepherd, and your job is to feed the flock. Your job is to tend to the people. And I believe that the people in the city of Flint believe that they're being pushed to the side. And a lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire. So I want to read some words from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. What is justice? The most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, justice is the greatest principle of fair dealing.
Facts.
Has the government of the United States dealt fairly with us? No. Justice is the law that distinguishes between right and wrong. Have we been done wrong? Yes. But he also said if there were justice, there would be no need for a judgment. Do the Bible and the Quran talks about judgment? The day of judgment, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said justice is the weapon that God will use in the day of judgment. In the Bible, it says,
Jason, come on, man.
Be not deceived, God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Now, when we look at the city of Flint, this is a very, very, very great city. This city has produced a lot of great people. We have produced a lot of great athletes. We have produced a lot of great entertainers. We have produced a lot of educators. Right now, you have the #2 educator in the entire world comes from Flint, Michigan. I don't know if anybody knew that, but this is what this city has produced. The Flint Community School System, it used to, people would come from other places to come and study the Flint Community School System because it was a great school system. And it was great not because of the system, it was great because of the people that created the system, that taught in the system. They loved the people of the city of Flint. You had a great man, Mr. Spain. You had Mr. Pugh, you had Mr. Bracy, you had all of these great people that took and put their energy and love in the city of Flint. We got to get back to that greatness. Right. And we have to serve the people of the city of Flint correctly. That's right. Now, people are not crying out for no reason at all. And I'm not here to bash the mayor. I'm not here to bash the chief of police, nor the city council. But what I am here to say is, give the people the justice that they are due. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
Talk about that, though.
Okay, please, sir.
The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I want to read something, and then I'm going to turn the mic over. This message to you is one I give in a series of meetings ever since I've touched down. I spoke to pastors, politicians, and hosts of others in private meetings, and I met with the chief of police along with Brother Shaheed and others. I know the mayor and others were concerned about what I have to say. I'm not an insane person. I just very, very angry at what is happening to us as a people. When you look in the city of Flint, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago, you had a sister who was murdered. She was pregnant. She was shot 5 times. So she pregnant with a child, and then she left a 6-month-old baby behind. We had murder over at the club the other day. When we look at our city, it's overgrown, trees all over the place, bushes. I mean, you can't see past the sidewalk, the streets. So it's our duty as a people to come together and put our city back together. If we feel that the mayor and the people or whatnot, council are not doing what they're supposed to do, you can unify. You have a voice. You can come together and you can put who you want in office to give you the justice that you so desire. We don't have to put up with it, family. we don't have to put up with it. And one thing I want to say is when we're dealing with the police, let's not incite them. You know, if they ask us to do something, let's obey the police and their commands, because if we don't, you know what happens. The next thing, they're going to have to flex their authority. So family, let's work on our city. Let's come together, let's organize, and let's take back our voice. That's all we have to do. Nobody can silence us. The people, the power is with the people, always. So all we got to do is stand up, come together, unite, and we make our city great again. All right, family? So with that, I'm your servant, I'm your brother, and you can contact me like the sister did, and I can do whatever I can on behalf of the Nation of Islam, and I'm Muslim Farrakhan. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you all again for coming out. Winterslaw ATL News Media Group. This is about the people. Let's not lose focus. Today, the organizing starts here with the people, united as one. We will no longer move separately. We are going forward together, and we will take back our city. Thank you so much. Thank you.
First speaker is R.L. Mitchell.
Hello, I'm R.L. Mitchell. To the public, what you seen last week happened up in here, that was exactly what happened when I got graduated in 1971 at Southwestern High School, right down the street down over yonder, over across the creek. The popo come in my high school, and I was standing by the trophy thing, ready, and they come in like they come in, and then 16-year-old, we was about 17, 18, 16. This little 16-year-old kid picked up an officer and body slammed him right beside of me. And the dude that started the riot, he said, stump him. I looked at, I said, just like you seen what happened the other day, I was just standing there. I want you to know when I went to my block club meeting, the next day, everybody was in there, sitting in there, and they come in there and said, Mitchell, where our money at? What happened? And I didn't say nothing. Like they say, silent is you occurring with this stuff. Then they got so mad because I didn't say that he must have got his ass kicked. That's what happened.
Mr. Mitchell.
What?
I'm calling you to order for being vulgar. Please refrain from cursing. Continue.
Well, okay, like I say, I'm R.L. Mitchell, and I'm gonna talk about what happened. I mean, this thing about the night is about the DDA and the NRA. Those in dumber terms don't know what that means. The dudes come in with long rifles. That's what mean Negro raggedy ass gonna get dealt with if you know.
Mr. Mitchell, in accordance to Rule 29.8, any person at a council meeting may be called to order by the president or any council member for failure to be germane, for vulgarity or speaking in excess of the allotted time, or any other violation of these rules.
Point of order.
Rule 29.9, any person who is called to order shall yield the floor. What is your point?
Was the audience given a list of words that you feel are deemed vulgar?
That is an improper point of order. Any person who is called to order shall yield the floor until the chair shall have determined whether or not he or she is in order. If a person is determined to be out of order, that person must yield the floor and forfeit any remaining time. Mr. Mitchell, that is your time. Thank you.
I appeal the ruling of the chair.
That is more than fine. Could you please start the 1-minute timer? Mr. Mitchell, please have a seat as we determine.
For support to that.
I'm sorry, you're correct. Please have a seat as we determine whether or not you will continue speaking. I also want to remind residents that no one should be standing in the aisleways or on the side or on any window sills. Everyone should be in a seat.
Point of order. Point of order. What rule is that? Point of order. What rule is that?
Officers, residents should not be standing against the window sill, nor should they be in the aisleway.
That is no rule that it says that you have to be sitting.
Remain peaceful, people. You see what they're trying to do.
Is there support for, I'm sorry, what was your point of order?
Not a problem. I'm bringing that gentleman who's yelling out in the front row to order.
All right, thank you. All right, is there support for Mr. Pfeiffer's?
It is definitely support.
Is there support for Mr. Pfeiffer's motion?
Yes.
Excuse me, is there support for Mr. Pfeiffer's appeal?
Yes, it is support.
Thank you. Go ahead and give Mr. Pfeiffer his 1 minute. Mr. Pfeiffer, you may begin.
So the chair is obviously trying to blow up this meeting because the last meeting, there was vulgarity to the 9th degree and nobody got warned for that. So they want to enforce rules when it's important to them and then they don't want it when it's not. At no point has the audience or in the rules, is there a list of vulgar words that this body has voted on that they deem vulgar? Ass is in the Bible. How is ass vulgar? It's not. And that's the word that Mr. That's the word that Mr. R.L. Mitchell stated. So his rights are being taken away for saying a word that is in the Bible. So this is the tyranny that we're dealing with in this council, and they want to blow up today's meeting so that they can go against again saying that we didn't approve the budget and anything else, and then they want to cause chaos. That's what they're
Sir,
trying
that
to
is
do.
your time. Thank you. Sir? All right, let me know when my minute begins. And also, we can't hear the timer, Madam Secretary.
Okay, we're ready.
All right, thank you. According to Rule 29.8, any person at a council meeting may be called to order by the president or any council member for failure to be germane, for vulgarity, or speaking in excess of allotted time, or any other violation of these rules. Rule 29.9, any person who is called to order shall yield the floor until the chair, which would be me on this evening, shall have determined, which I did, whether he or she is in order. He was out of order. If a person is determined to be out of order, which he was, that person must yield the floor, which he did, and forfeit any remaining time. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Yes, overturns the ruling of a chair. A no, upholds the ruling of the chair.
Mr. El Alamin is not in. Dr. Lewis?
No.
Ms. Priestley?
No.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
Yes.
Ms. Burns is not in. Ms. Machette?
No.
Mr. Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Mr. Jarrett?
Yes.
You have 3 yes, 3 no.
The vote is 3 yes, 3 no. The ruling of the chair stands. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary. Sir, that is your first warning. You are being vulgar and you are being called to order. You are also yelling out, which is disorderly. You are being called to order. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Audrey Muhammad.
I wish I had working clocks so that way we could see and calculate our time. So I'm going to be as quick as I can. Last meeting, we established that Liddell Lewis do not like black folks because she uphold the whites. She sick the police on the black folks. She didn't sick them on the white folks in here. So we've already established that. We also established that she do not like Muslims. We know she upholds and stands firm with her pastor, who also do not like Muslims, because he denied children that was in his summer program one year. He denied them to be pork free because at the request of the family members. Yes, I'm talking about her pastor. We already know and established that Liddell Lewis cursed out Pastor Kevin Thompson in the library parking lot, which was overheard by the security, the staff, and parents and their children, in which the parents said they did not feel like their children were safe at the library because of her conduct. Not one time, but she had done it also another time. She has a habit of trying to bully folks and think that she can take over what it is she wants to. That insurrection that happened here on Monday was an insurrection from the Flint City Police Department. Not the citizens of Flint, but from the Flint City Police Department at the direction of Liddell Lewis, Judy Priestley, and Candace Moonshot. They are the ones who called that to order. They made sure, like they got their people standing around the perimeter now. It is not against the law to stand up in here. That's the reason why you got that partition up there. They can go all the way up to that partition and talk. You all illegally moved chairs out of here. That is not the way it's supposed to be set up in here. Whoever got that order should be fired if you took that instruction, because you reconstructed this to try to push the crowd back, denying ample seats in this audience the way it should be. And whoever is standing up for any of this poppycock that these folks up here doing, the stuff that the police department is doing, you all should be, y'all gonna go straight to hell. That ain't a cuss word. You all gonna be burning in a fiery pit. Every dog got its day. God is gonna be in the hand on this. This don't even make no sense. Y'all sit up here and play on the emotions of a few people who trying to get a few dollars from y'all. Those people, they looking for money, and y'all holding them hostage. Sheldon Neely should be shamed trying to hold the staff here in Flint City Hall hostage talking about they gonna do some cuts and they gonna lay folks off to try to put pressure on y'all. Y'all force hold steadfast because in any household, you never make $50,000 and have a budget of $75,000. That's ridiculous. He wants you all to pass a budget that you ain't even got money for.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Valerie Southall. Valerie.
Okay, my name is Valerie Southall. I'm a resident of the city of Flint. As I said before, I need you all to go line by line on this budget. If you do not understand anything that's in this budget, vote it down. I want you to please, resolution 250160-T, split every single part of that out. I'm also requesting that as far as the mayor's $1.6 million that he wants for his office, cut at least $1.2 million out. 64 does not go into 68. He did not present you all with a balanced budget. And we really need you to stand up for us. He acts like he's a magician. Basically, he's got people over here being all upset over here, but something is really going on over here. So what I need you to do is to look, when you're looking in the budget, look for words like might, may, however, so that if anything happens, so if you didn't do one little thing, we don't get stuck with another $29.5 million. Please let us go ahead and try to get a loan. And the loan's supposed to be paid back by grants that we may or may not get. We do not want to go back under a emergency manager. So that's what I say. So don't I know Liddell has her PhD in sociology. Basically, that means she lets you mess with people's minds, but don't fall for it. We need you to do the work of the city and pass a balanced budget. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Stanley Wood.
All right, where to start? As I told you guys on Monday, I've been a long time viewer watching. Monday was my first time coming here. And all I can say is it was a shit show.
Sir, you're being called to order for being vulgar. Please use other words.
It was a doo-doo show. So, it was clear on Monday the mayor instructed you guys not to remove people so you guys could try to approve his unbalanced budget. Because everybody said, you got 64 million, 68 million, you're 4 million short. That's simple math. I'm not sure some of you guys can get that concept, but Judy, or I'm sorry, Councilwoman in the 4th Ward. 5 minutes before the melee broke out, you and the city attorney went out back. Is that a coincidence? No. And how do I know this? I took some words from Mr. Mays that said, look at the tape. So I spent 2 days looking at the tape. I spent 2 days where I don't see how they're going to charge people when it's the 2 police officers that I know for a fact they'd either punched or shoved somebody. So, Liddell, or Councilwoman in the 2nd Ward, this safety plan that you speak of, where do we get a copy of that so we can see what we're supposed to do and not supposed to do? Number one. Number two, was it even voted on by the council? Or is this something that some people made up and now we're going to follow it? And then today I walked in from the news conference that the two council people had, and the first thing I noticed is there's probably 40 or 50 chairs missing. There's borders all the way across, which is fine. It's given us a bigger mosh pit, I guess. I don't know. But you guys are trying to distance the residents more and more and more. My next question is, when are you going to start requiring us to show our ID in order to speak? Is that going to happen? Or in order to get through the door? And the last thing I got to say is if we can't stand on the aisle or outside the aisleways, why are the police allowed to stand there? That's not treating us all the same. And then how much time do I have left? All right, I'm just going to stand here till it's over.
You actually cannot stand there silently, so thank you.
Oh, I'm talking. Thank you.
It is now time for the next speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Mari Copini. Mari.
What I witnessed on Monday was absolutely deplorable. While residents voiced their frustrations, I sat here and watched council members laughing and giggling at residents who were speaking about serious issues involving their families. I watched the same council members refuse to make eye contact and listen to the youth of our community. I watched Liddell and Leon constantly sticking their heads under the table to gossip and giggle like middle school girls. And even today in this meeting, Liddell and Judy are whispering to each other. And when you had a chance to respond, you sat silent instead of taking time to address the concerns of the people. You are terrible role models for the youth. I watched you play a huge part in the chaos and then get on a press conference and play victim. The youth of Flint are tired of watching you behave like children. There is no reason that we are half your age and have more common sense than you. The condescending tones you use towards people that don't agree with you is childish and disrespectful. And the fact that once again the police were weaponized against the people, taking out resources for actual crimes that occur in our community is ridiculous. And I'm not doing this to jump on the TikTok wave. The future of the kids is here on the line. So please get your shit together.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Next public speaker.
Next speaker is Nicole Washington.
Hello. I'm here today and speaking on behalf of the summer jobs funding that was cut from certain foundations. My daughter, she had a summer job through Faith Foundation last year, and it really gave her a sense of responsibility. It helped me out a lot of things that I did not have to do as far as school supplies, those expensive Jordans that these kids like. This year she completed Teen Quest and there was no job available for her. So I'm just here on behalf of our children need summer jobs to help their parents, so thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Salim Al-Amin.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name is Salim Al-Amin. I want to make a statement about a situation about when I was interested in trying to get my roof and water, my roof done. The mayor had a meeting down on Bunch Street, and I went to the meeting, and he was speaking and saying, you can contact this person here, Joan Johnson or something, and she would help you with your roof. And I was feeling good about that. I said, damn, I'm gonna get some help, you know what I mean? But then I contacted the people, and when I really found out what the information was, you had to have your name in a year ago before you could even get some help for your roof. So when he was doing that meeting down there this year, it was just some bull, you know what I mean? So I'm still, we need my roof, need some other work done. And so I want to see about the funds for that. And I have another question, since I'm new here at the council. I would like an understanding about the budget. Since the budget is the serious thing, I heard that Mr. Jared or Dennis could give an explanation of the pros and cons of voting for the budget as it is or not, so I can get an understanding, because I'm new to these politics, you know what I mean? So with your 2 minutes or so, could you speak about that, please? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Hanifa Elamine.
Good evening. My name is Hanifa Elamine. I have a question. Tanya, Dennis, Jerry Winfrey Carter, or Jonathan, can y'all answer? How do they keep changing these doggone rules here? You know what I'm saying? How did it go from 2 warnings to 1 warning? How do these rules go? Who have the permission to just change them anytime they get ready? Can anyone answer that clearly so we all can understand? You know, and the other day when I was here, what's the problem? People had the freedom of speech, but now Candace seemed to be back at her same old damn tricks to want to put people out, but guess what? It's not working this time. It's not working this time. People is tired. They sick and tired. And you don't ever have to look up. You know what I'm saying? Because you're very rude. Very rude. And you know what else? Fuck you.
Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Allison Montgomery Littlejohn. Allison Montgomery Littlejohn.
Good evening, Council. My name is Allison Montgomery Littlejohn, and as you have been witnessing and experiencing, revolution is here. The chickens have finally come home to roost. This uprising of Flint is the result of the blatant disrespect that has been consistently shown to the residents of Flint by corrupt government officials. This uprising is the result of the following: former Governor Snyder's agenda of genocide in Flint, the former emergency manager's participation of genocide in Flint, the EPA's participation of genocide in Flint, the corruption and mishandling of the ARPA funds by Mayor Neely and some city council members, the decision to plant willow trees instead of helping residents repair their homes, help residents overcome expensive water rates, foreclosures, and rental assistance. The president and vice president of city council's decision to rape the people's public speaking rights. The president and vice president of city council's decision to weaponize the police against the people. And Chief Green's neglect of producing a comprehensive safety plan for the city of Flint. This is the result of the uprising in Flint. To some of you city council members, don't cry wolf now. You are not a victim. This uprising of Flint is the consequence of your vileness, abuse, and neglect. Your day of reckoning is here. Enjoy.
Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Beverly Biggs Levy.
My name is Beverly Biggs Levy. I am running for the 3rd Ward City Council seat. You guys, Liddell, you always taping somebody. You say this is what we want. This is what we want. Somebody taping you. You ever thought about that? We're taping you. But you know what? You know what you're doing is wrong. Life is short, and it's over. Like y'all pulled my husband out of that car, all you asked for was license and registration. License and registration. We towing the car. That was what was asked. The police was wrong. The chief need to resign. And your mayor need to step down too. And it looked like y'all was very scared. Candace, Liddell, don't be scared now. Don't be scared now. Hold your head up, because your days are numbered. They are numbered. You see the chambers are full, but then you take all these chairs out of here, you want us to sit up like roaches. You want us to sit out here like roaches. But that's what you want. You have a thing across there, that ain't gonna stop it. We're tired. We're tired of the BS. And it's time for you guys to wake up. Judy, you ain't left out. Don't look innocent, because you're not left out. And like I said, Leon's grandmother passed. I pray for that family. I have no issue of hurting anybody. That is not me. But y'all don't care. You won't look up because you're scared. You know that if you look at the other folk, they're looking directly at us. You guys have no morals or standard. And it's time out. It is time out. Last week you was laughing, but you say, oh, this what y'all want. This is what y'all want when you get the police in here. Popos can't stop us. They cannot stop us. It's time out. You guys better wake up, get God, and start praying.
Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Pastor William C. Harris, Jr.
Good afternoon, everybody. Tonight, I'm speaking as the chairman of the Ethics and Accountability Board. But I have a legitimate reason as why this budget needs to be passed, because my administrative assistant has informed me that she will be let go. That's Mrs. Little. Mrs. Little is a hard-working individual. She makes sure that the office runs. She receives complaints. She files those complaints, and she makes sure that people are directed in the right way. If this budget is not passed, they will let her go. And what I mean by letting her go, they will terminate her, because she is not union. She is an at-will employee. I'm telling you what's going to happen. So I'm standing here to protect the employee that works in the office of the ombudsperson. I ask you all to do what needs to be done. But think of Mrs. Little, think of the ombudsman's office. She's a mother, she's a wife. Her husband is not doing well and she takes care of him. And her daughter is in college. I need you all to really think about the individuals who work for the citizens of Flint. And Mrs. Little has worked in this office since 2019 tirelessly. She has taken complaints. She has heard complaints. If you don't do it for anybody else, I ask that you consider the hardworking people who really are trying to put food on their tables for their families. That's why I'm standing here, because I want to protect her, and I want to protect her, and I want to protect the office. I ask that you all come together for comprehensive communication. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But come together at least and pass a budget that makes sense. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is that
Please pause this time.
What's going to happen is an emergency manager will come in and they will take over. And it's going to happen again. And if the budget is not passed in a timely manner, please do what needs to be done to protect the office of the ombudsman. That's why I'm standing here today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Josh Bogus.
You know, to follow up this last gentleman, the office of the ombuds, I didn't know we had one of them in Flint. Where is this lady? Should she not be here protecting us from you? Fire her. These seats. How many seats do you think you're missing here? I did a quick count. There's like 10 here. It's like 60, 80 silenced voices. 60 to 80 silenced voices. Are you proud of yourself, Candace? I hope you're proud of yourself, Liddell, because none of these 60 or 80 people are impressed with you, I promise. So I'm going to voice that with them for here. That's a good damn start. I did have some observations, too, to touch on my homeboy here. I was watching, too, from right here. I seen you, Miss Priestley, get the homeboy and go back there and talk. And I don't know, and I can't prove nothing, but we are pulling some FOIAs, and it really looks awful suspicious that you jumped his shit, incited a riot in this hall 2 seconds before the cops got out of their cars and stormed across the thing. That looks really stupid on your part, Miss Priestley. Really does. Mr. Neely, what the hell is this snippet bullshit? That was live footage.
Please pause the time.
You gonna give me a spanking?
Rule 29.8, any person at a council meeting may be called to order by the president or any council member for failure to be germane, for vulgarity, or speaking in excess of the allotted time, or any other violation of these rules. Any person who is called to order shall yield the floor until the chair shall have determined whether he or she is in order. If a person is determined to be out of order, that person must yield the floor and forfeit any remaining time. Sir, you can choose different language or you can have a seat.
Okay, I'll say my last piece, and I want to share this with all the city of Flint. For my birthday, May 5th, around about 1 to 2 o'clock p.m., I was having an argument over my property trying to save my business, and your dishonorable judge, Kerry Hannibal, told me he doesn't have to uphold the Constitution 3 times in a row under oath. I want all of America to hear that. The judges do not uphold the Constitution under oath. They said it in front of this man. They said it in front of me. He repeated himself 3 times. He said it in front of my wife. This place is despicable. We need an emergency manager. We need the FBI, and everybody needs fired.
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Thank you. Point of order.
What's your point of order?
So we have a camera that's not in the camera section.
Sir, would you please go to the media section?
There's no room.
Sir, you are being asked to go to the media section.
Number 2, you smell like food.
don't know, but you just blew it. Rise up!
Keep the peace, guys. Keep the peace. Don't give them space. Do not give them what they want.
Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Brooke Boyer.
I just have a question. How do you guys like we the people coming against you guys? Are you serious? Did you just throw somebody out of the meeting because of a camera? Actually, no. We went a step further and arrested the person out of a camera. You guys keep piling up your lawsuits. You're going to tank Flint. It's been really sad to see that you guys like to and enjoy bullying these people. Your people. I can understand if you feel that your life is threatened for calling the police or removing people, because no one wants to start anything, believe it or not, regardless of what happened. We just want answers and for you to listen to us and to represent us. And I'll tell you what, Flint is not being represented at all. The fact that you guys took these chairs out of here, that is voices that are silenced. Are you guys happy with yourselves? You seem like it, but don't worry. Day of reckoning is coming. Make sure that you ask yourself why do you feel the need for the police to be here, to protect you guys, because you guys feel so threatened. Maybe because you're not listening to the people who are sitting here crying on microphones, screaming up and down that they need help. They're begging you, and you guys don't care. That is very, very sad. And what I'm saying is Liddell doesn't care, Judy doesn't care, and Machette doesn't care. All three of you guys have your heads down because you can't give us enough respect. Yesterday's incident was covered by Pfeiffer. He took control of that situation, and none of anything would have happened if a raid of police officers unlawfully coming in here and trying to stop something that wasn't even there. You need to stop removing people. This is ridiculous. People have the right to speak. And I bet you're out there towing cars for 4-hour limits that were posted on there that looks like they were just put up with a piece of paper. Oh, and then there's 30-minute limits over there. But we have no parking things to tell us when that is. But you got officers surrounding around here, huh? Yeah, we're a real threat, aren't we? Yeah, it seems like these people are really threatening. So you must be scared about something, and in order to be scared about something, it must be your actions. Maybe you should think about your actions before you keep going. You guys are throwing people out for coughing, sneezing, clapping. Did we really stoop this low? You know what I was taught? Was when they go low, we go higher. And God is the highest we can go. So I'll be praying for all of you to do the right thing. God will take care of his people. Best believe that. Everybody better believe that. And if you don't fear God's wrath, well, then I'm sorry. And I'll continue to pray for you because you should. We can always go higher than your ranks,
time,
too.
ma'am. Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Jeremy Robinson.
My name is Jeremy Robinson. I was born and raised here in Flint. Like my parents, like my grandparents. Sorry, I'm tall. And let me get this mic right. Fourth generation, born here in Flint, Michigan. Just so happens to be yesterday was the anniversary of my murder. And I said murder. That's right. 5 years ago yesterday, I was hit by a hit and run. I was ran over by a hit and run driver running a red light on my motorcycle. I was so bad that Hurley refused to take me, and they air flighted me to U of M, where I went on to die 4 times. Stuck in a coma for a month, broke every bone in my body, had to have heart surgery and brain surgery. And nobody investigated nothing. Nothing. The person was caught. The person was detained, never arrested, never charged. And then when it got to court, Judge Hammond dismissed all the charges along with DA David Layton, dismissed all the charges except for the person didn't have a driver's license, a legal driver's license. So that's what they were convicted of. Driving on the suspended, not running me over and killing me, but driving on a suspended license. Is that what this has come to? Is that what we're at? Murder? What is no investigation? And then when I tried to speak out about it in front of Judge Hammond, I was told to sit down and shut up or go to jail for speaking out about at my own court hearing on my own murder charge. I was threatened to be put in jail for speaking out about this not being justice. So tell me again, how is that justice? Please, somebody explain that to me. Nothing. I know, I didn't expect, to be honest, I didn't expect anything from anybody here. I really didn't. It's just sad. It's just really sad that that's where this great city has come to. 4 generations my family have been here. 4 generations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, before you call the next public speaker, I do want to remind the residents, because I don't want that resident to think that 8 people sat up here and just didn't care about what he was talking about. We are not allowed to respond until council responds. Next public speaker.
Next speaker is Sandra Jobin.
Good evening. Hopefully you guys can hear me back there, somewhere's out there. But obviously some people are afraid of what's happening. It's a sad day when they start to have to pay for the crimes that they've committed throughout the years. I stood here 3 years ago, and around here in Flint, whether it was commissioners, don't hold me exactly responsible. I am a Burton resident, originally from Davison, so they call me the outsider. Well, this outsider is now paying for part of the Flint water crisis. I just got the headline of that news on Sunday. I was down at the protest. I saw the brutality of it was a total setup. Now you guys can see how a peaceful protest turns into a freaking riot. There's setup, and I feel sorry for the police officers that are doing this, that feel that they have to do this. I'm sick and tired of hearing it's my job. I got food to feed my kids, to food pay, whatever. Because the point of this is I went through this with COVID too. They were threatening to give us that stupid shot that's now killing everybody, and everybody is finding that out through cancer, heart disease, brain tumors, you name it. And I wouldn't do it. I have a child that is disabled. I have better things to do than to stand here and try to tell people that the corruption is happening here in Flint. Judy, I'm disgusted by you. You call yourself a Republican, but I'm telling you, there's a difference between a Republican and a Republican, a real Republican. And you are disgusting. You're a traitor to the name. Yeah, now look up at me. Liddell, I'm not sure that you're legally supposed to be sitting in that seat because I believe it's 2 months shy of being here for a year before you took office. So I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go down with your Courageous magazine also. And that is, she has a background of criminal society, yeah, that name. Sociology. So is she playing both sides or is she, I'm not really sure on that one. And then you turn around and take a grant and take your name off of presidency and give it to your best friend, supposedly running your NGO. These guys are just corrupt from the word go. I could go on the list and on, because you know what? I'm up pretty much 20 hours a day. So I have nothing better to do than to research. So Leon, where's Leon? You guys are supposed to be making a major vote here and he's not here?
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Arthur Woodson.
Let me start off by saying, Candace, you can't stop me from standing up here and not speaking. Have you ever heard of silent protest? I could stand here in silent protesting y'all for acting stupid and not knowing anything. It's nothing that you can do about it, but I'm gonna speak though. Me and Rashid, that's Rayvon's father, I brought him down here. His son was shot 10 times in the back by the state troopers back in November last year. Y'all didn't say anything, nothing at all. Liddell, Crystal Cooper, you remember them? The shirt that I have on right now. Let's talk about Mayor Neely saying that it's political suicide not to go after the 2 firemen who gave an all clear and they died Memorial Day of 2023. Yesterday was the anniversary of one of them passing away. My issue here is what happened Monday. Chief Green said that the residents was the cause of the chaos here past Monday. It was an officer that slapped a senior's finger. You can watch him on a video moving around and maneuvering, trying to hear what he had to say. And when he got in earshot of what he was saying, he turned around and slapped his finger and then grabbed him. Everything was okay. The young lady was going out in the hallway. Liddell, let me tell you something, you moose. You screaming that we interfering with the police. Sergeant Spann and Sergeant Jones asked me to help them get her out of here so that it wouldn't be any melee, any chaos. See, y'all don't like to play with the police, but you have people that don't give a damn about what happens if they're doing right. I was in the military and we used to train to fight Russia. And we dealt with dictators and learned about dictators. And that's what y'all are up in here, and especially Neely. Neely is a dictator. Don't pass that budget. Y'all coming up here talking, especially the ombudsman. Y'all coming up here trying to pump fear, but remember Mike Glasgow cared about his family more than he cared about 98,000 people when he signed that order to let us go on Flint River water. See, y'all sit in these offices down here and worry about y'all commanders and y'all chiefs and y'all mayor, and y'all do their bidding against the people of the city of Flint. I wouldn't sign anything, I wouldn't vote on anything until they start telling on the thievery that's going on down in the mayor's office. They know what's going on down there. That's just like all these pastors running around sleeping with their congregation.
Thank
They be
you.
knowing what's going
Thank you.
on.
Your time is up.
Thank you.
Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next public speaker is Wantel Davis.
My name is Mr. Juantez Davis. I'm the former Fifth Ward City Councilman. What I want to say to the public is, and I said it last time, but I don't know if everybody was here last time, is City Council #1 job is budgetary processing. That's their #1 ultimate job, is to pass the budget and do the numbers and the checks and the balances. But they have a whole year to put this together, a whole year. Unfortunately, we at this point where we are now, and this is an embarrassment. And my thing is, I don't think it's a lot of city councils up here that know how to put a budget together. There's probably two, Jared and probably Dennis, that I know that probably can put a budget together. But the unfortunate thing, and I'm not throwing any slice at any of you guys, because that's not my position to do that. My goal is to represent the people, especially in the Fifth Ward, and most importantly, the whole city, to make sure our people are educated. But you guys has never come up with a budget to counteract the budget that the mayor put together. When I was in office, we used to conduct budgets when we didn't like the mayor budget. And we would have a meeting as a whole with the mayor and figure out what budget is we going to pass. But you guys has not put a budget out to counteract his budget. And if his budget is $4 million in deficit, then no, it shouldn't be passed. But this is what they're not telling people. And I'm not bagging this budget that we have. I'm not bagging that budget. But this is the information that you're not getting. The budget is a balanced budget. It's a balanced budget because they're using the fund balance, which is a reserve. Every municipality does that. But the difference is in this budget is it's utilizing money that it shouldn't be utilizing, because a lot of the services that they're trying to pay for don't need to be paid for. So that is the information that is not being given to you guys. And so if that budget has items in it that shouldn't be utilized, then council should feel compelled to do a budget themselves and summon the mayor to come to the meeting and utilize both understandings and say, what budget will we submit that's beneficial for the people? But this council, and that makes everybody accountable, not just 4, but 8. All of them should be held accountable, because this is their most important job. And if you cannot conduct your most important job, you shouldn't be in the position that you're in. But they spend hours campaigning, throwing each other under the bus. So when you're throwing each other under the bus and you're arguing and you're quibbling, either you're trying to make sure that person don't get elected, or you're trying to make sure that you stay elected. But it's still campaign. It's still campaign. And I was the only one that tried to stop them from going to the Flint River. So my point I'm trying to say is that
Thank you. Next public speaker, Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Wentes.
Good evening, Council. My name is Wentes Hall, and I'm a resident of the 6th Ward. First of all, I want to thank the people today, because today was a victory for the people. The people had a press conference. I want to thank Councilwoman Tanya Burns and Councilman Dennis Pfeiffer for coming and standing with the people, because they too are residents. I want to thank Mayor Karen Weaver for coming. I want to thank Little Miss Flint. I want to thank the brother, the minister, LaRon X from the Nation of Islam. I would have liked to thank the concerned pastors, but unfortunately, they're not here. I thought it was an honor to stand with Sister Claire McClinton down there today. I also thank Brother Art Woodson. I thank Baby Doll for driving from Detroit. I thank Sister Taliba. As you can see, I'm naming a variety of people, because it's about the people. And that's what we forgot. And I'm standing here holding the hand of Miss Gwen Wofford, the other senior that was pulled out of her car Sunday and handcuffed for no reason. No reason, a ticketable offense, but she was pulled out of her car. See, a lot of the seniors were driving because they couldn't walk from here way over to Dayton Street. It was peaceful. But it became personal when I seen my old church member out there asking, what did I do? And then for her to tell me in her 70 plus years of life, that's the first time she ever was spread out across a police car. In Flint, the city that she grew up in. This is how her city treats her, the seniors. Wasn't Hasselbring enough? Wasn't Hasselbring enough? But no, this is what we keep doing. But we got to organize. And organization, whether you know it or not, it started today with the people. Delegate Sandy was right. It was a setup because the mayor and his minions spent most of their morning on the phone trying to stop the peaceful press conference by telling people that it was a protest that was going to be held outside on the lawn of City Hall trying to deter people. But it didn't work because the people still came. People are tired. And like the minister said, no justice, no peace. Flint,
Thank you. Next
And we
public
standing
speaker,
up.
Madam Secretary.
Next speaker is Kat. Next speaker is Kat